What's up, guys? Ian here, coach of your Ladner Lanturn, bringing you guys our Week 3 match in the WPL, or the Western Pokemon League, taking on Storm and the San Diego Sneasels. Very interesting matchup. I don't feel like it's necessarily in my favor. And if you've seen the team builder, there's part of it that you want to ignore. I actually changed up my prep after filming the team builder, and I did not have nearly enough time to film a new one, or the energy to film a new one, just for one mon being replaced. So yeah, let's run through Storm's team first. He's got Tapu Koko Z user, Halucha, Donphan Z user, Mandibuzz Super Z user, Megmortar, Togedemaru, Mega Scizor, Keldeo, Superior, Mesprit type Null. I wasn't expecting Megmortar or Togedemaru. I was really expecting the Mandibuzz, so I'm very surprised to not see a Mandibuzz. The team that he brought is absolutely Reuniclus fodder, and I was definitely expecting to see a Mandibuzz coming. Yeah, Mesprit is kind of just a joke of a Pokemon, and it doesn't really have a place in his roster, to me at least. You know, it's kind of a secondary rocker to the Donphan, and that's really the only thing that it's doing. I was a little bit shocked to see the type null over something like a Superior. I don't really have the best ways to deal with Superior, but I guess he felt that Tapu Koko was enough to break my double water. Keldeo, I am definitely expecting to be Scarf or Specs. Those are definitely the only two options against my team, I feel. He can't really afford to run sub-Calm Mind against me, and I think he needs some coverage moves there. Like, I really feel like he needs Icy Wind, Secret Sword, and either Hydro Pump or Scald. Some form of water stab. Halucha, was expecting, but I'm not scared of it, because it needs Stone Edge to hit Zapdos, otherwise he just gets completely walled by it. So he needs Stone Edge, Acrobatics, some form of Fighting Stab, insert filler move here, and if it's sub, I would normally be scared of a sub SD set, but he doesn't have the move slots to run sub and SD against me, otherwise he's just walled by something, so it doesn't make sense to have your late game sweeper walled by something, realistically. And he doesn't have the best ways to break Zapdos on his team pretty much at all, actually. He's a very difficult time with Zapdos. That's why it's my win con this week. So yeah, if you've seen the team builder, or if you haven't seen the team builder, check it out. But only part of it's relevant. I ended up swapping out the Primarina set that I had in the team builder for Assault Vest Reuniclus. Now, shoutouts to Frost for the AV Reuniclus idea. This actually shuts down Keldeo just as well as the defensive Primarina does, and it's a better check to Tapu Koko. Considering I had 0 checks to Tapu Koko, this is a much better answer to Tapu Koko on the team. I have ways of revenge killing Tapu Koko with the Garchomp and the Mega Beedrill, but I don't have a switch into Tapu Koko, so Reuniclus is going to fill that role. It should be able to tank, I believe, 4 Thunderbolts from a standard Timid Z move set. So that's sort of my thought process here. I'm not surprised to see the Mega Scizor. I have a very hard time breaking Mega Scizor, which is why I have Heat Wave and Fire Blast in the Garchomp. So yeah, my Garchomp is Toxic, Fire Blast, Dragon Tail, and Earthquake. Registeel is a Choppleberry counter set for the Halucha with Protect, Seismic Toss, and Rocks. Beedrill is Knockoff, Defog, Poison Jab, U-Turn. Zapdos is Roost, Heat Wave, Hidden Power, Ice, and Thunderbolt with an Expert Belt. Mimikyu is Mimikyu Z. It's a massive nuke for the Mandibuzz. And honestly, it just nukes anything not named Scizor in this matchup, with Shadow Sneak, Play Rough, and Drain Punch for the type Null. And Reuniclus is AV with Knockoff, Hidden Power, Fire, Thunder, and Psyshock. Yeah, so pretty fun matchup. I felt a lot more comfortable. You know, I said in the team builder I didn't really prep that well. I didn't feel like I prepped that well, but I felt a lot more comfortable after running through my team pretty late last night. I ended up running through the team a little bit more. Through recording the team builder, I think I fixed a bunch of the problems that I had, and the AV Reuniclus definitely is sort of a more, it's a comfort blanket. So yeah, let's get right into things here. I'm just going to lead with something. I can't remember what the hell it is. Garchomp. Garchomp. So I figured if he wants to lead Donphan, he can trade rocks with me or whatever. Obviously, I don't have rocks. I'm not big brain dual rocks this week, but you know, I can handle a Donphan. I can handle rocks being up, kind of. It just means that I need to get Beedrill in earlier to get rid of the rocks so Zapdos can keep coming in freely. Rocks are definitely a huge pain in the ass for my team. But I am just going to click Toxic here. I figured just wear this Donphan down. It's one of his better answers to Zapdos. He's going to show the Ice Shard and pop my Yache Berry. I was okay with this. I ended up just clicking Earthquake and getting a huge amount of damage off on him as well. And we wear him down quite quickly here. So I'm going to go on my Zapdos. I can eat the Ice Shard and I will get a kill on him afterwards. And you can see that's not really worth his time to go for another Ice Shard when he's this low, and I'm just going to click Heat Wave. I had no reason to click HP Ice at that point, because his switch into HP Ice is either Keldeo or Scizor. I think more than likely would be Scizor. I would be scared going into Keldeo on a Zapdos. So I just clicked Heat Wave for the kill secure there. I mean, I could have missed, and maybe he clicked Stone Edge or something, and then I'm in a much worse position, but we didn't miss, and so luckily we claimed the kill on the Donphan. He now has no form of hazards against me, so Zapdos is free to switch in every single time with no rocks up. And it's got an amazing offensive matchup. I never have to click HPS again. I can just spam Heat Wave and Thunderbolt, and Thunderbolt is going to be really strong against this team. So he ends up bringing in Coco, and I'm just going to go hard Reuniclus. Again, this was my check to it, and we see a tremendous amount of damage. So that is obviously not what I was expecting. I was not expecting to be 3-shot by this. I was expecting to be 4-shot by this. So the Thunderbolt damage tells me that he's timid choice specs. Based on that damage, he can't be modest. Well, he could be modest, actually. I don't know why he's not modest. Maybe he was modest with less special attack investment? Looking at it, I'm not quite sure why he wouldn't be modest against my team. That would make the most sense to speed creep over Lycanroc Dusk, unless he was creeping some form of Scarf, maybe Scarf Primarina or something like that. Either way, he shows to be timid specs. And so, obviously, I can eat another one, unless he crits me, and I can get a fat Psyshock off here. But instead, the safer play is just go Chomp, because I know he's locked into the T-Bolt, so I just swapped right into Chomp there. Obviously, I'm immune to it. Scizor comes out here. I'm scared of a Bullet Punch, so I am just going to swap into my Zapdos on his U-turn. So he makes a really good play by clicking U-turn there, knowing that I'd be scared of the Bullet Punch. No static there, and Type Null comes in here. On my Roost, I feel like Roost is pretty safe as he shows Flame Charge. He's definitely like no attack investment on this Type Null based on the Flame Charge damage there. And I'm going to go for T-Bolt, scout out the damage. The Eviolite makes this a little bit more tricky. You get to crit there. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I'm calcing, and I know I live a Flame Charge from no attack with Mega Beedrill, so I can always get Knockoff off. But instead, I'm going to go Reuniclus and use Knockoff on this. I'm not super concerned about taking damage. The Shadow Claws obviously sucks a little bit there, but I'm not super concerned about it. He actually turns out to be AV instead of a Violate. I didn't even notice that. I really thought he was Violate. Makes a really good play with the Pursuit, catching my Reuniclus, but luckily I lived. And now Zapdos can just 1v1 this as he gets static paralyzed now. So I'll just let it roll for a bit here. So I need to get Reuniclus in a couple more times to get it healthy enough to take on the Coco. So I'm going to try and pivot around with Reuniclus a little bit here. You know, his Type Null is still really fucking slow, and Zapdos 1v1s this, so this is sort of a play where I'm trying to get Zapdos as healthy as possible so that this Type Null dies. Whether that be, you know, him clicking Flame Charge over and over again and outspeeding me and then me getting a slow roost off, or situation like that where he just randomly clicked Shadow Claw instead of Return. I think he was probably just getting bored of the encounter there, but Shadow Claw left me at a much higher health than Return was. I was basically playing for a full para with the Type Null. I don't think he even got full para'd once. So he got full paralyzed here, or took the para here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 turns where he didn't get fully paralyzed. So the odds were he was going to get paralyzed in that, and he didn't. So you know, Zapdos ends up 1v1ing it and claiming a pretty important kill there. Coco comes out. I've got to pivot into this somehow, so I'm just going to hard chomp this time on the T-Bolt. Really good play on my part, I thought. As I'm going to go for Toxic. You know, Toxic was a pretty shit play. I don't know why I expected Hawlucha to come in on this. There's, like, no reason for it whatsoever. I could have clicked Dragon Tail, because I know the Coco's got a switch, so I could have clicked Dragon Tail, maybe phased in the Hawlucha early and burned his seed. But I'm not a smart person, so I should have clicked Earthquake is really what the play I should have made is. He's actually just going to pivot from Mega Scizor back into Coco, expecting me to swap into Zapdos, and I'm just going to get Fire Blast off. Show that I have the Fire Blast for the Scizor, and he's going to kill me with U-turn, take some rough skin damage there. No downside to that for him. Keldeo comes in, Beedrill lives a hit from Scarf, and I outspeed him if he specs, and so that's sort of where my mind is rolling with this. I have the ability to sack something. Reuniclus is still pretty low. It's at 9%, so it's, you know, about 42% after it gets its regenerator coming back in. I have Disguise on Mimikyu to burn if I absolutely have to. I can pivot into Registeel, because I have multiple answers to this Hawlucha, right? I have 3 answers to Hawlucha in Mimikyu, Zapdos, and Registeel. So I can burn one of those answers to Hawlucha on the Keldeo here, if I wanted to. Instead, I'm just going to click U-turn, and we will see that he is indeed Scarfed, and thank God for that, because Specs was a lot more scary. Just going to get to U-turn into Reuniclus here. Get a little bit more HP back on my Reuniclus, and catch the Mega Scissor switching in with a fat HP Fire. That was a really solid read on my part. There's no reason for him to sack Koko. So Electric Terrain was dying, right? So there's no reason for him to sack Koko there, because he wasn't going to get Electric Terrain up for the Hawlucha, and then Hawlucha becomes completely worthless. Or he stays in with Keldeo. I live a Surf for free. I get to Hidden Power it and then Psyshock. Or I get to Hidden Power it, go back into Beedrill, come back in with Reuniclus. So HP Fire was kind of a no drawback play here, catching the Scissor, and I just get to go into Zapdos for free on his Roost. Roost was really ballsy on his part instead of just clicking a hard U-turn there. I'm not sure I agree with it, just because I just did 95% with HP Fire. It was a good read on his part. So I made the good read turn 26. He made the good read turn 27. I don't necessarily agree with it. From my perspective, it definitely benefits me a lot more to have him at 5% rather than 55%. But making that Roost play is really, really ballsy if I just happen to click HP Fire with the Reuniclus again. He probably knew that Reuniclus was way too valuable to me in taking on the Koko and the Keldeo, and so that's why he didn't click U-turn, especially because it's now at 43 after coming back in, so it's getting another 33%. So it's going to be about 76% coming in now. So I've healed a lot of HP back with Regenerator, and I can easily take on the Keldeo or the Koko at this stage. He's just going to go hard Koko here on my T-Bolt. So I ended up going for the T-Bolt there. It was going to do okay damage to the Keldeo if you want to switch in Keldeo. Like, it was going to kill the Keldeo if you wanted to switch in Keldeo on the Heat Wave. And I maybe should have just clicked Heat Wave. I didn't really calc to see if Heat Wave was doing more than Thunderbolt on the Koko there. Might have been a misplay on my part just not clicking Heat Wave. But either way, it weakens the Koko a little bit here. I can pivot back into my Reuniclus. I live one hit, and then I can pivot back out and sack my Beedrill. And then bring Reuniclus back in. So I definitely live a hit at this range. I can just click Psyshock freely because I don't think Mega Scissor's coming in after I made the read. So he's going to sack the Keldeo, another play I don't necessarily agree with just because it was his Scarfer, but Keldeo didn't really have a matchup anymore. So I could definitely see it coming in there. Scissor's going to come in. I'm just going hard Zapdos, and he's probably going to U-turn out. He thought about this play for a while, and he goes into Hawlucha. So he sat here for a while thinking about this play, and I know exactly why he was. He timed his Electric Terrain turns not super well there, and so bringing Koko means that Electric Terrain's down, and then he's got to pivot back into Scissor, go back into Koko, and then get Terrain up for Hawlucha again. So instead, he's just going to go hard Hawlucha and pull the trigger early. He didn't really have a choice because I kind of put him in a position where he was almost never going to be able to pull the trigger on Hawlucha anyways. But I'm just going to go hard Registeel here on what I expect to be a Stone Edge. There's no reason for him to click anything else. If he had clicked Sub, I'd just S-Toss or whatever. I'm going to click Counter here as he goes back into Koko, so he wastes his Unburden by Registeel. I'm fine with just claiming a kill on the Koko here. I know that I live a Specs Thunderbolt because I'm very heavily Spidef invested, and even after taking the Specs Thunderbolt, I still live a high jump kick from the Hawlucha. So I get my kill on the Koko. He's going to bring in the Mega Scissor here. Not super big deal. He crits me with the U-turn. That's a little bit more of a big deal because now it's a roll if I live the high jump kick, but I get some damage off on the Hawlucha, which is important. He's going to miss the high jump kick, which also really sucks. I click Counter. That didn't matter. If he'd hit the high jump kick, it's a roll if I live, and then Counter will kill him. And either way, he can't kill Reuniclus at this stage with this Mon. He cannot kill Reuniclus at this stage with this Mon, and I can click HP Fire to kill this, actually. Or he's got to rely on hitting my Zapdos with Stone Edge, and Stone Edge isn't killing my Zapdos from this range either. So either way, I'm just going to go for the S-Toss, or sorry, the Protect. I want to scout out another high jump kick from him to try and kill him with that. I'm just going to S-Toss on the Scissor here, and I'm going to set up Rocks at one point. He's just trying to get the Scissor up to a good amount of HP. I mean, it dies 100% of the time to Heat Wave from Zapdos anyways, and it looks like he doesn't have a good way to kill my Zapdos. Superpower kills me through the Chopple, which is kind of interesting, so he's definitely fairly attack invested. Bullet Punch isn't doing much to me. I Thunderbolt here. So my thought process with the Thunderbolt here, is that I catch the Halucha switching in and kill it without missing a Heat Wave. I could have just clicked Heat Wave here, but the alternative is catching Halucha in and saving differential. So that's why I clicked Thunderbolt. I had explained this play to him after the game. Instead of clicking Heat Wave, I knew he couldn't do anything to me, especially at -1. There's really no point in him doing anything to me. Alternatively, I could have just clicked Roost this turn, but I'm going to click it this turn instead and click Heat Wave this turn, I think. Yeah, so we're just going to roast that Mega Scissor to death. Halucha's going to come in on the rocks, takes a ton of damage, and I live a Stone Edge from any range. Even a crit Stone Edge I lived, so I'm just going to pick up the 3-0 win there. Mimikyu didn't even have to hit the field. That's good, because Mimikyu looked... Oh, it looked good besides Mega Scissor, and Mega Scissor stayed alive way too long in that game. So that is going to be our Week 3 match. We pick up the 3-0 win over Storm and the San Diego Sneasels, moving ourselves to 3-0 plus 12. Pretty good start for the first quarter of the season. I'm very happy with how we performed so far, especially with how comfortable I am with the team. I'm very happy with a lot of what's gone on here. Mimikyu and Zapdos both have 5 kills, so pretty happy with both of them. Probably my most comfort picks out of all of these. Reuniclus has been putting on a clinic against people, and I'm really excited for Week 4. So Week 4, we take on the defending champion, Dom, and the New Jersey Nagano Devils. Different Dom than what you guys might know from my channel, although he is in the league, and we will play him in Week 8. We play Rudiger, or the Dom that we know and love. So yeah, we play Dom 1 of 2 next week against his Sand team, and looking forward to that. So I will catch you guys for the next one.